What's happening, sports fans? We welcome you back to another Top Recruit interview. This one's fun on a lot of levels. We always like talking to kids that are moving on to the next level, but we especially have a soft spot for kids that are staying here and trying to take the local universities to that next level. It's also always fun to talk to a CIF state champion. We have Macy Ratermann joining us from, as you can probably see, the branding here is always on point. Westview High School, as I said, CIF state champion for soccer last year. And then now is going to play soccer at USD. We have a lot to talk about, but let's start with your decision on the Toreros. You stay local, and I'm assuming had your pick of universities. So why USD?
Well, I am just in love with USD. It's been a dream school of mine. I love the coaches. We have an amazing connection, and they've been so welcoming to me from the start. And the school, the campus is amazing. It's beautiful. I mean, it's voted as the number one most beautiful campus in the nation. And they have an amazing psychology program, and I'm looking to hopefully be a sports psychologist one day. So I'm really interested in that as well. The team has really good chemistry. Just the entire soccer program is really good, and they're just really welcoming to me. So I'm really excited.
So you say this was very high on your list. Was this always like a childhood dream goal? Like, have you achieved? You went to the school that you always wanted to. What was getting that offer like then for you?
It was amazing. I remember when I first started talking with them and they were reaching out to me, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting because I knew from when I first started the recruiting process that I wanted to stay local because I love San Diego, I love California, and I knew that it was a goal of mine to try and stay local. And so being able to play in my city is just an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, there's probably not much incentive to want to go play soccer like in the Northeast or something like that, where it's snowy and cold if you've grown up playing on the West Coast. So
Exactly.
you get that offer from USD, and I'm assuming that like it was signed, sealed, and delivered. You didn't consider anybody else, like if there was trumpets playing, like a light shone down from heaven when you got that offer. Like, what was it actually like getting to finally commit and go to your dream school?
It was amazing. It basically everything you described. It was such an amazing experience. The coaches were so excited. My family was so excited. We got all of our USD merch, and being able to just share that news with my family and friends was so exciting because they've been following the process and they've been hearing all about like the new happenings of my recruitments and all of that. So it was amazing.
Obviously not everybody gets to wind up at their dream school, but I always like asking people that have finished with the process, what is some advice you might give to just younger student athletes, eighth grade, middle school, high school, anybody that's just along the journey right now and maybe a little lost as to how to get to where they want to go? What's some advice that you would give?
Yeah, so the recruiting process is different for everybody. But my biggest piece of advice is just keep going with it, keep working hard, stay persistent with it. You will get the outcome you would like in the end because I think that everything happens for a reason with the recruitment and there's so many different opportunities that people could have. So to just be optimistic about it and realize that it's going to work out is definitely something to keep in mind.
Now you're headed to USD, but I want to talk about how you got here in the first place. Last season, as we mentioned, CIF state champions. You had to beat a local team in Mission Hills, so not necessarily like some crazy win and play De La Salle. So whatever, it is what it is. Though, what do you remember or take away from that state championship run? Because not everybody gets to go to a state championship game, let alone win one.
It was an incredible experience for me, my team, and I. We started off in CIF beating the number one seed, and so that gave us our ticket into being able to play states. I remember we had a game all the way up in Bakersfield, which is a long car ride, but we won that at the very last minute of overtime. And so that was just so exciting, so thrilling for us. And then being able to play locally was amazing because we had so many fans and so much of our community came to that game in Mission Hills, and we just felt so much support and excitement, and we were just so proud of ourselves for going that far because the previous year we had won CIFs, but we didn't make it to the state championship, and so this was like our moment. Like this is what we had been working for so long, and we are such a connected team, and we're so bonded that it was just incredible for us. So
So getting to actually have the local game helped with the black hole turning out in
yeah.
bigger numbers than it would have been, because I'm assuming not many showed up to that Bakersfield semifinals game.
Not at all, no.
Very
And the
much.
Bakersfield had like a huge crowd, but we pushed through. So
So then what's a better memory of a win? Is getting a road win like that to silence a big home crowd, or getting a big home win a better experience as a student athlete?
I feel like having that home crowd to like cheer you on as you win like a really big game. I feel like that's such like it feels so uplifting because you have all of these supporters who are just there cheering you on and you feel so accomplished.
All right, let's talk about this season then. As of recording this, we're only a couple games into the year, so not everybody has a good feel for where the team's headed. But for you personally, I would assume some of the pressure is off, knowing that you have your college decision already made. But what kind of goals? I mean, state champions, you can't go any further than that necessarily. But where do you guys have the goals set for yourselves, for you personally? Just tell us a little bit about how the season's been going.
Yeah, so we actually have our first game tomorrow at 5:30. That'll be our season opener. But we have pretty much the same group, the same girls from last year. So we're all still really connected. We have that bond that we've had in the past year, and we have that experience of being state champions still. And so obviously that is our top goal to win that again. But we just want to keep working hard, work together, and do our thing like we did last year.
So this is a pretty big senior class then, is what you're saying, that you guys all have been playing together for just high school, or is this since early club days? Like, is this going to be a big emotional moment when this season comes to an end for the senior class?
It definitely will be emotional. A lot of our seniors have played with each other on club as well, and there's been like a lot of mixing with different teams, everyone being on different teams. But we've been together since freshman year, and we've kind of like worked our way up to like this moment of being seniors, and it will definitely be very emotional because we're a tight group of girls and we're all super close. So it'll be such a fun year though. It'll be a great senior year.
So I always like to ask this because every school has obviously like the rival, but sometimes program to program it differs. If we had to say people, hey, come out to one Westview game this year, is it? I mean, do you just want more of Mission Hills, or who's the rival for you guys specifically as a soccer program?
That's a good question. It's kind of our Westview's rival is known as like Mount Carmel, but for soccer, I mean, we've kind of had different rivals like Del Norte, or last year it was Mission Hills, I would say. So I feel like this year it kind of depends, but I feel like our rival this year would probably be Mission Hills just because we have that state championship game that we played with them. So
Your rival's just the next team that's out there, just
I
the,
guess.
yeah, the next team that you're going for. Okay, so for you guys, I mean, obviously as seniors and state defending champions, like there's a lot of that goes into that, but part of it is also knowing the mental aspect of it. And a big part of the mental game sometimes is just like staying loose. So what helps you guys stay loose? You got the pregame playlist? Is there somebody that's like the vibes master of the team that keeps everybody loosey goosey? That's the one weird kid where you're like, hey, you're not that good, but you keep us all in check or something like that. Like, how do you guys stay focused but loose as a squad for a whole season?
Well, our coaches are definitely super fun and they keep us on track, but they also love for us to do team bonding or do like fun stuff during practices or warm ups. So we have our warm ups where we have our music, we have like we do TikTok sometimes, and we just like get in a circle and just kind of talk about how we're going to come out at the game. We also do like team bonding, like during CIFs, my coach Peter, he always does like a taco party at his house, and then we play like fun little games like to kind of connect and get kind of ready and just bonded for the CIF season. So
So carne asada, pollo asada, like what was the magical combo of tacos that won you a state championship last year? And now
I
do you have to eat that exact order pregame every game all season?
I think for us it was this game called Fishbowl that we did at his house, and it's basically like charades, or like we have to act out certain like words where everyone writes a word, they put it in the bowl, and then it's just such a fun game, and it's so funny because we're all just like cracking up at each other, and that kind of gets us like fired up for the season.
Fair enough. Well, so then hopefully you guys will play a ton of fishbowl this year, have the right
So
combination of tacos. While we also have you here, you run track. Now, I not a track athlete, was a baseball player, so enjoyed just walking from position to position, but I have a lot of admiration for track people. I like asking, is the relay handoff in track the most underappreciatedly difficult thing in all of sports?
yes, it is very difficult because it's like it's the make or break of a relay. So basically, if you mess up the handoff or if it's just like a split second too late or anything, like it can be a deal breaker, but it is definitely difficult.
When it's the kind of thing that you see the track people like doing the walking handoff practice, but I
Oh,
feel like even then that doesn't necessarily translate at all because you're doing it at full speed. Is there anything in soccer that even comes close to like
mm,
that level of precision and difficulty?
I'm not sure. I know that the handoffs are quite precise because we have to practice them a lot throughout the season. But I mean, I guess like set plays for soccer because you have to have people in the precise places. So I guess that would be something similar.
A lot of student athletes do multiple sports, but and Twitter, Instagram, I know that that's not everybody, but there's a lot of comment sections where you see coaches lamenting, oh, like my players should just play one sport. They should just focus on one thing. For you, two sports worked out to you actually wound up at your dream school. So what would be some of your advice? Maybe not that like, does track make you a better soccer player? Does soccer make you better at track? But like, why did you choose to stick with two sports instead of just focusing on one?
Well, when I started talking with USD, one of the things that they said that they loved about me and they were really interested in was that I was also a track athlete. And they would call me asking about my meets and like my competitions and stuff. And they said that obviously, like track is because I'm a forward, I'm a winger. So my sprints in track correlate with my sprints in running. And so they were looking for fast players and they're like, oh my gosh, like you do track, that's amazing. And so I think that having different sports is also good because you can have different mindsets and they can help you with different aspects of both of your sports. So I think having a combination is also really good.
Absolutely love that. Last question I like to always ask to seniors on their way out, and there's no right or wrong answer or anything in between, but what do you hope the legacy is that you and your senior class leave behind, specifically for this Westview soccer program?
I hope that we can leave a legacy that Westview girls soccer has always left. I mean, just a strong legacy of a good group of girls who work really hard and make an impact on the school and the community and just kind of leave like a lasting memory of what we've accomplished.
And maybe two state championships on the way out, just to rub it in that the football program didn't win
Oh my God.
in the process. Hey, I'm allowed to take that shot. I'll take the heat for that one. Macy, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again on making it to USD. Look, a lot of the kids are leaving to go out of state, but this is one that you get to watch her both in high school and then hopefully making it to the national stage in college. The USD men's team set the bar this year, and so she's going to
Yes,
show
they
us
did.
if the Toreros women's program can now follow. So hopefully a lot of success in the future for the Toreros that you can watch courtesy of some local talent. Thank you very much for being on
Thank,
with us and best of luck this season.
thank you.